Anything I can do for you?
I'm surprised. Where she? As you say. When next...
Well, look at that. Now you said I'd find you. Did I mention how much I hate being a messenger? Makes me wish I had a writ so I could kill something. Anyway, here. This should explain everything, sort of. It's a map. We change locations every other day for security reasons, just in case it falls in. Never had to use a map before. Amateurs. This one leads to a key to one of our safe houses. Look, I know you're helping Counselor Eris, but if that... What are you implying? Can't a person do something... Then you understand what I'm talking about. Being noble, doing the honorable thing. It can be a real pain. Well, look at you. You're a practical genius. Look, Na Yu seems to trust you, so I suppose I have... The Morag Tong has the authority to...
All things.
What is it?
Halt! Scum like you belongs on the bottom of my boot. Irks me just to look at you. Just pay and go. Now get lost, scum.
It's in remarkably good condition.
Yes, wonderful. I'll mark it down.
It's fallen off the roof.
Yes, that is peculiar.
Something the matter.
Oh, nothing the matter. I'm nervous.
Whatever for. If anything had happened,
I'm not nervous about an attack, Bravura. It's just... well... there's no good way to say this. We should drink to something.
What is it?
Sorry about all the subterfuge, but we can't be too careful when it comes to security. Don't be so eager, my darling. It reveals too much about your ultimate intentions. But yes, Bea would very much like to meet with you. You intrigue her. And your connection... Redwin Records. House officials... Don't sound so offended. You had to know you.
Are you stupid? Or just hard of hearing? No matter. Tell it to the guard.
seem to get ahead here.
I think we should execute criminals. Fine. Now get your stink away from me.
Get yourself a drink. And one for me.
Could you spare some gold? A little food? Perhaps a fine pair of shoes? Food sates me and clothing protects me, but gold gives me a choice. Blessings of
Dark Elves have it.
Get yourself a drink, and one for me.
It is my great...
still alive. Ulron was exiled? That can't be right. He's an exemplary officer and a good man. Plus, he's the son of a counselor. Why in oblivion would House Redoran banish? I can see that. There has to be more to the story, but I'm not sure how we get it. Still, you proved you could be trusted, and you admirably performed this. There's an abandoned cave along the coast. It's in the swamp and smells like rot, which makes it the perfect. Get to the swamp and find Vea. She's eager for any information about her brother, so she's really going to appreciate getting that registry. Just try not to be too charming when you meet her hero. Vea would face too many temptations here in Balmora. Friends, favorite places, familiar sights and sounds, not to mention the proximity to all things House Redoran. Even the most thick-headed house... Oh, don't thank me, hero. As long as you're useful and don't betray us, then we're engaged in a mutually beneficial arrangement. Cross us in any way, however, and you'll never see my blade. Well enough. Ulron and Vea used to sneak out to watch me train. I have a way with blade. It's not like personal relationships are against the rules, though I suppose they are sort of frowned upon. Anyway, my assignments always brought me back to Vardenfell, so we were able to keep in touch and visit even as they... Anything's possible, but the Ulron...
And you're sure it's Vea? House Redoran isn't emptying its coffers so you can chase your own tails out here.
You pay the War Claws well, because the War Claws are the best there is. We have the kitten's scent. It's just a matter of time before my warriors catch her.
Of course, Ferrara. Just make sure she doesn't get out of the swamp. I'll take my soldiers and guard the eastern paths, in case she eludes your warriors again. Ah, the Counselor's lackey. I understand you've made significant progress in your search for Vea. As a matter of fact, so have we. My mercenaries have spotted Vea skulking about the northern portion of the swamp. Between my soldiers and Ferhara's war claws, the Counselor's daughter will soon be home. Vea's brother. It's a sad story. Killed one of his own soldiers to protect an Ashlander of all things. I think they were being too lenient when they simply exiled him. But that's how they treat them. Ulron always had an unnatural attraction to the Ashlanders and their savage ways. He felt that an Ashlander life was worth more than a Redoran life. The Council didn't agree with his assessment. This will all be over as soon as you say. Ferharah's war claws take their contract as seriously as you do, however. Get in their way.
Ferharah assumes the Councilor's minions will not present...
You're free to do
for
as
the war clause. Yes, Captain?
The Outlanders have been warned, Ferharah. I leave everything...
Ferharah enjoys a friendly rivalry as much as the next mercenary. Forbade is such a complicated concept. It assumes that the rules are applied equally to everyone, and we both know the foolishness of that assumption. The War Claws have a long-standing contract that predates any proclamations by the Councilor. Captain Briven's predecessor? Forgive Ferharah. This one can barely remember the trade secrets, you understand. Ferharah can tell you the War Claws...
Stupid wall. By the three! You really shouldn't sneak up on a person like that. If you're working with those mercenaries, I assure you... Oh, right! Now you mentioned something about that. Look, I can't wait to hear what you learned, but the swamp is crawling with mercenaries. Unfortunately, there's a mob of those beast people between here and the cave. I was going to try and sneak past them, but every time I get too close, I think one of them catches my scent. You're going to tackle that mob of fur and claws? I'm impressed. Meet me at the cave when you're finished. Meet me in the cave to the north when you finish with the mercenaries.
I can smell the dark elf king. Looks like we're the last ones here. Heal me!
Warclaws! Let's flay this outsider! Up here! Hurry, before more of them show up! What do you think of my luxurious accommodations? It's got dirt and rock, and fungus and a poultry fire, all the comforts of home. Anyway, you said you had information about my brother. No, that can't be right. Ulron's honorable and noble. He's a model soldier. What could he have possibly done to warrant being banished? What? My brother has always been interested in the Ashlanders. Even showed them a kindness the rest of the house doesn't approve of. But for him to kill someone, especially one of his own soldiers, something terrible. I know the tribe that Ulron liked to help, brought them supplies and such. He'd go and visit their camp whenever our father wasn't paying attention. Will you go with me to talk to them? She can handle herself just fine, hero. Vea, grab your things. It's time to go.
Go? Why? What's going on?
The Warclaws are marching toward this cave, along with half the House Redoran soldiers in Balmora. We need to go now.
Damn it. They must have followed us. I'll get my stuff.
Dealing with an arrogant, impatient, overconfident young woman. Now I know how my mother must have felt. We need to move the back tunnels. Better than heading out the front door and right into the main contingent of Redoran troops. Councillor Eris brought additional soldiers. One more thing. The back tunnels wind their way through territory that House Redoran recently acquired. We may run into some resistance. but it shouldn't be as bad as what's waiting outside the front of the cave.
Does the ceiling look unstable to you?
Search everywhere. Captain Brivin thinks the Councillor's kitten might try to escape.
I'm ready for anything. Damn! Those cat bastards are harder to shake than a blind date. This looks promising. Let's give it a try. That must be the way out. I just hope there aren't any Redderons up there. Oh no, we're surrounded! And that father ruins everything. You do that for me? Thanks, I guess. But what can you possibly do against all those soldiers? My father brought the whole damn army with him this time. Clever. Tell my father whatever he wants to hear. That might actually work. Afterward, meet me at the Ashlander camp to the south. My brother would often visit that particular... Once I find Ulran and make sure he's all right, I'll meet with my father. But that meeting...
Halt! Who goes there?
Stand down. These Outlanders work for me. The captain reported that he had seen you in the area. There are also multiple reports that Veya has been spotted. Tell me, I also said that the captain has his own resources. The War Claws report to Brivin, not me. Look, we're all just trying to get my daughter home safely. Now, tell me what Veya's thinking. It was a gamble, I admit. An opportunity I couldn't let slip away. You won't make me feel guilty about trying to find my daughter. So, very well. We'll do this her way. Veya can be as stubborn as her mother sometimes. But tell my daughter that my patience won't last forever. Next time, I expect Veya to be with you. Or I might just let Captain Brivin do this his way. Do as I command, and let them pass.
I demand to see my brother. Lay hands upon me, and you will lose them. You there! The territory of the Red Exiles shouldn't be traveled lightly. Ashlanders once respected each other, helped one another. You'd think these were house wolves or tribunal dogs, the way they treated me. Lord Vivec, is it? And I thought all the tribunal cared about was building monuments to their own greatness. Nice to see that one of them cares about what's going on beyond their borders. Well, perhaps we can aid each other this day, Outlander. Ashlanders are nomads, but we gather at sacred sites to trade, confer, and pay homage to the past. Aldrin is such a place. That's why Chodala invited the Red Exiles here. But these outcasts won't let me into their camp. I need to find my brother. My brother, Chodala, is the Ashkan of our tribe, and I am his ambassador. I act as a go-between among the tribes. Chodala, head into the Red Exiles camp and find my brother. Otherwise, see if you can find out what he was doing in there and where he's gone. Be wary of the outcasts. As you saw, they won't hesitate to attack without reason or provocation. Chodala went to meet with the Red Exiles leader and hasn't returned. If I enter the camp and have to kill any of those foolish outcasts, we could have... No, just our tribe, the Urshilaku. Though he's... You seem to have survived your visit to the Red Exiles camp. Did you find my brother? Interesting. I never suspected that the outcasts were disciplined enough to keep records such as this. Oh no. I can't believe my brother... It means that Chodala really has changed. With his newfound powers and rising ambitions, I fear what he plans for the tribes. I suppose you have a right to know what I'm talking about. Take this. Chodala discovered new power out in the wilderness, and it changed his view of the world. He writes about it in... Chodala discovered new... All I know, Chodala said... You don't know?
Outlander, over here!
This requires a considerable amount of effort, so just listen. We have a problem here. Return to my office immediately.
Ah, a fellow outsider in this... Drellith Hileron of House Redoran at your service. Though I doubt I'll be very useful here. This is Ashlander country, and they've made it clear I'm not welcome. It's my fault, really. I made a mess of their customs when I arrived. I'm researching for my family's ancestral tomb, you see. My research led me here, to Aldrin. It's hard to believe, but I think my family may have settled here for a time. When I arrived, I immediately started asking questions. I was... overzealous? Unfortunately, yes. I wonder if we might aid each other. Despite my missteps, I do know a great deal about Ashlander culture. I could help you earn their favor. In return, you could find out if they know anything about my family's tomb. First, pay respect to Farseer Quanta. She walks the Red Path this year, and it's customary to wish her well. Request to take part in the offering to the first Ashkans. Do that, and you should be able to ask their wise woman about the tomb.
Your footsteps are as loud as a Kaguri's. What is it you want, Outlander? Have you now? Then you have my thanks, and my curiosity also. Outsiders rarely show us such respect. When they do, it is always because they want something. Remarkable. You would honor our ancestors. Very well. I give you my blessing. You hesitate. Shall I explain the custom? Each of the four... For Ahemusa, an ashen fern. For Erebin Imsum, the weapon of an exile slain by your hand. For Urshilaku, yes, though becoming is a clumsy word for it. Every daughter of Veloth has worth. When we learn to speak with our water...
We must adapt. Life in the air.
Well, those certainly aren't Ashlanders, not with those tails.
This is disturbing. I can't believe this. Why allow the Warclaws to run roughshod over the camp like this? What's House Redoran thinking? And what in the name of the... My brother often visited this camp. Took me along a couple of times. It used to be such a vibrant place. So full of life. I know House Redoran wants to expand along the western coast, but if Ulran was here, he'd never stand for the Warclaws invading the camp. He told me the Ashlanders were the same as you and I. Different beliefs don't necessarily make people bad. We need to see if we can find out what happened here. I really want to help, but Naryu won't hear of it. We don't get our hands dirty unless there's a writ attached. She's so fond of reminding me. We'll hang around and wait for you to find something before we move in.
Veya, I don't think this is a good idea. We're trying to keep you out of House Redoran hands, remember?
You're not my parent, Naryu. I can take care of myself, even if the Mother of Blade doesn't...
Damn it, Veya. You know I hate that title.
If I'd realized how popular this camp was going to be with Outlanders, I would have moved the tribe ages ago. You don't appear... Ah, Ulran the Exile. He disgraced his family and lost his status, but remained true to his heart. Ulran is here. He tried to stab... I assume they dragged him off to the mine, along with most of the tribe who refused to let those tribunal dogs walk all over us. Or should I... It's a small hole in the ground, but it served us well until the Redorans and their Warclaws arrived. Get the key to the mine from either the Warclaws commander or the supply yurt, whichever suits, to keep the head and the body separate, As long as I'm here, I can't offer my people hope or advice. And I certainly can't compel them to rebel against these invaders. I have no doubt. However, my place remains with my people.
We're just going to burn them? Even the Redoran?
The captain called them traitors and savages. Said the good roasting was more than they deserved.
Down here! Come on! Wait. What's that smell?
Veya, stay back. You don't need to see this.
What happened here? Oh gods! They murdered these poor Ashlanders! Oh no! Oran! Oran! Wake up, please! You can't be dead. You just can't!
Veya shouldn't have had to see this. Even I'm finding it hard to believe that the mercenaries would slaughter these Ashlanders for no reason. Not to mention the son of a house counselor. Doesn't make any sense. I suppose anything could happen in the heat of the moment. But to kill a Redoran, even an exiled one, that's presumptuous even for the war clause. I wonder if Eris knows about this. I've seen these before. They use them in Eastmarch to record and send important messages. They're expensive and as rare as a sober Nord, but Oron was always attracted to the contrivances of other cultures. Shall we see what it has to say?
If you're listening to my voice, know that my time is short, and what I have to say is important.
Brother, is that you?
Everything that happened was a deliberate act to discredit me. I need to report the events so my sister can learn the truth about her brother. You have to understand, I don't share my house's hatred and distrust of Ashlanders. So, during my normal patrol, when I heard that Ashlanders had come to Balmora and were causing trouble, I was dubious to say the least. I arrived to find one of my soldiers arguing with the Ashlanders. He spat at them, called them savages. When one of the Ashlanders objected, my soldier drew his sword. I ordered the soldier to stand down, but he ignored me and stepped toward the second Ashlander. I killed my own soldier. I had to. Before I knew it, I was dragged before the Redoran Council and exiled. I never even got to say farewell. I believe I was set up for this fall, but I don't know by who. I came to this camp for shelter, but House Redoran's reach grows ever longer. Now Captain Briven's here. I'm going to talk to them, just in case I made this stone for my sister Veya.
Oran! Damn it! What am I supposed to do now? Oran's not supposed to be dead. That wasn't the way this was supposed to end. What am I gonna do now? I still don't understand. Oran said someone set him up to fall. Who would do such a thing? And why would they do it? Oran never wanted to hurt any... So that's why they exiled him? That's why they killed him? He was too damn good? That's the problem? We've got to find out who did all this. They won't get away with this. I won't allow it. Oh, I'll find them all right. And when I do, they'll pay for what happened to Ulran. I swear by Mephalah's sacred web and the first blood my blade ever tasted, I'm going to avenge my brother.
I agree with Ulran's assessment. Certainly sounds like someone led him into a situation guaranteed to make him fail. I can't believe he put this burden on Veya, though. What was Ulran thinking? I didn't say that. Just not sure how to proceed. We're entering dangerous waters here, going up against House Redrin. And we don't even have a writ to protect us. I'm going to take Veya and head back to our safe house in Balmora. They found our cave, but the abandoned basement is still secure. After that, I'm not sure. The Morag Tong has rules. We can't just kill with wild abandon. We follow a code. We only execute those whose names appear on sanctioned writs. If we kill respectable citizens without a writ, that's just murder. So, without proof, you do that. But be careful. We're not sure who in the House Redrin is involved, and I'd rather not see you wind up like these poor Ashlanders. Veya. How may I serve?
And so the Outlander returns, as we discussed in the swamp. I expected you to return with Veya, or present me with a time and place for us to meet. Complication? What kind of complication? I ordered my soldiers to stand down and let you do things your way. No, that's not possible. My son was banished, ordered to leave Vardenfell and never return. Why would he disobey me? Veya was with you? And you left her out there? By the three, everything is unraveling no matter how hard I try to maintain control. I need you to do something else for me, if you would. Tell my daughter I'm sorry. Tell her she needs to stay away until I can calm things down. I don't want to see anything happen to her. Promise me. And take this. If you'll excuse me, I need some time to consider everything you've told me. Once I determine the best way to proceed, I'll contact you. In the meantime, it was never meant to be an attack. I sent Captain Briven to clear land that already belonged to House Redoran. The Ashlanders were given an opportunity to depart. The situation didn't have to turn violent. Those damn savages should have just...
Outlander! Now you told me what you found in the Ashlander mine. I can't imagine what Veya must be going through right now, but she shouldn't be alone. That's why I came looking for you. Naryu has responsibilities to tend to. Morag Tong responsibilities. Understand? She left me to keep Veya company, but I'm not very good at spouting words of... You do understand. And Naryu implied you're as dense as the ash storms coming off Red Mountain. Good to know even the Mother of Blades can be wrong. Veya's upset, and not just about her brother. She wanted to go with Naryu. One other thing. Naryu's job concerns House Redoran. That's why she didn't want Veya to accompany her on this one. Veya's...
Get out of here, Ashur. I don't need a nursemaid no matter what Nari... Oh, it's you. Did Ashur send you to check up on me? I swear, the next person that treats me like a child is going to find my dagger in their stomach. Gods, I'm not mad at you. I'm just annoyed at everybody right now. No, I don't think so. It's just been difficult. Finding poor Ulran in the Ashlander camp. I need to be doing something. I know, but Naryu's writ. It involves a Redoran counselor. Exactly the opportunity I've been waiting for. The counselor knows who set up my brother. We need to talk to her before Naryu executes the writ. Do this for me, and I promise to stay here. Well, Naryu wouldn't tell me any specifics, but she trained me well. It wasn't hard to sneak a glance at the writ before she took off. Her target's at Arenim Manor, out in the swamp. Not far from that smelly cave, actually. I appreciate you agreeing to see what you can learn at Arenim Manor. My father used to say it was used by counselors as a retreat, but Mother always told me it was where they conducted business that required a certain degree of privacy. You did? How did he take it? I mean, he didn't know that my brother was dead. Really? I suppose that makes sense. I think he loves us, in his own way. But what else did he say? He didn't expect... My father doesn't know his children as well as he thinks. Either of them. That's why I can't agree to that. I need to figure out what happened to my brother, who was involved, and then I'm going to make them pay. That's all I've been doing. Thinking. And I think Ulran was right.
expected you hours ago, hero. It's not polite to keep an assassin waiting. I was wondering how long it was going to take Vea to convince you to follow me. But she thought I didn't notice when she glanced at my writ, didn't she? I know Vea wants answers, but this is my job. There are rules, especially where the lords of the great houses are concerned. There might be a way to deal with this, though, provided. First, don't kill any Redrons. That's a violation of my writ and could have serious consequences for both of us. Second, you sneak around and search for anything that pertains to Ulron's exile while I figure out how to deal with the Counselor. We need to be invisible. These things work best when no one but the target knows we're there. If you get spotted, you're on your own. I even cough on anyone without a writ, and the Murog Tong will have my head. The front door's guarded like a bank vault. Maybe there's another way in through one of the buildings by the docks.
Tell that stupid Swift to watch his back.
This looks promising. Might even lead to the wine cellars. I could use a good bottle of wine.
Isn't the best defense always a good attack?
He's not the sharpest arrow in the quiver.
His fate was such that no woman would have him.
To explain something I never said.
See what you can find pertaining to Ulran. I've got a dagger and a writ with Councillor Dolvara's name on them.
Goes to the city just for the pickpockets. That's the only man he
has. If we don't find anything, maybe we can ask for an invitation to the upcoming council meeting. I'm sure they'd be happy to answer our questions. hoping for a quick stab and go, but it seems the Councillor might actually know something about Ulron. So Councillor Dovra does know something about Vea's brother. Damn it all. Now I suppose you want to actually talk to her before I execute the walking pile of pawns. Of course we do. I specifically waited for you to arrive because I figured that would be the case. Still doesn't mean it. We discovered that the next meeting of the High Council will take place at the consulate outside Balmra. The war clause and the Ashlander abuse aren't completely sanctioned by the House, and Dolvera was present when Ulran was exiled. Not a bad haul. That means we have to get Dolvera to spill her guts before I spill her guts. Just keep your wits about you, hero. Dolvera wields her feminine charms the way I wield my daggers. Don't let her seduce you into doing something stupid.
Who's got a whetstone?
According to my...
The only fish that go with the rivers.
That's not a stew up. It's my laundry.
He goes to the city just for the pickpockets. Says it's the only love he ever gets.
Getting old is no picnic, but the alternative is a lot worse.
9 times out of 10, the cynics are right.
something?
Every woman has her price. Mine is 30 gold.
Only the dead will see an end to this war.
You do not want to get on my bad side. Trust me.
Be quick with your questions, hero. When I slip in, so do my daggers.
Ah, you must be here about those pesky patrol schedules. After all that clandestine correspondence, it's a pleasure to finally meet you in person. Now, well, look at you. I'm impressed. The last person House Dres sent over was so much more scruffy.
Did you hear something? I seem to be making a lot of enemies lately.
That's what he said.
Well, look at you. I'm impressed. The last person House Dres sent over was so much more scruffy. I have a meeting with House Halalu shortly, but I think I can spare a few more moments for you to seal our partnership. Oh, you do you? And why in oblivion would I tell you anything? You're obviously not my afternoon appointment. You'd best take your leave before I have my soldiers throw you into the swamp. Ulron's dead? That's news to me. All I know is that Ulron was tested and found wanting. He decided that the life of an Ashlander was more important than that of a Redoran. Everyone knew Ulron cared more about those savages than he did for members of his own house. But what does it matter who tested his loyalty? He failed and paid the price for his poor choices. Now, tell me what this is about before I get really angry.
That's what you're wearing? All right, but it's your funeral.
How dare you! I'm a lord of House Redoran, the Morag Tong.
The Morag Tong issued the writ with your name on it. You do remember that House Redoran frowns upon slavery these days, yes? Take another look around, hero, and see if you can find anything else related to Oran. Take another look around, hero, and see if you... More proof that Dolvera was in bed with both. That's Captain Briven's seal. I suppose our... The good Captain Briven appears to be more involved in Oran. Or he's trying to hide something. I suppose.
probably don't even have the gold. But I have... Fine. Now get your stink away from me.
Back again? Took your sweet time. You didn't learn anything, did you? Not that it matters. Oran's dead and nothing can change. What good is that going to do? They won't speak to us. House before family and all that. Believe me, I'm more than familiar with Redoran honor. More rules. I thought we were beyond those kinds of limitations. Look, I need to figure out who's responsible for Oran's death. House councillors, Redoran soldiers, Ashlanders. Riven was Oran's best friend. Would he really betray my brother? Regardless, I want you to have this. You could have handed me to my father, and you didn't. Other than Naryu and Ashur, you might be the only friend I have left. So which soldiers are we talking about? I know most of the people my brother used to work with. Eyewitnesses are better than notes in the house registry, provided I can actually get them to talk to me. There's no time to waste. That fort's near the cave where I was hiding. Last time we'll get Vatala and his soldiers killed. I know the process. Turning in a Rick can take out. Let me gather my gear and write a note for Naryu. I'll meet you near the Hlormaran stronghold. The more I think about it, the more... As far as I'm concerned, rules got my brother killed. They don't apply to me anymore. Besides, to find the soul... That's what the handbook says. Look, I know what Naryu's done for me. To keep me safe, I appreciate that. But this is about what they did to... No, never. You and Naryu... You're here, I'm here, the damn cultists are here. You know who isn't here? Vatala and his squad. They're probably hiding. Naryu's probably busy clearing her writ, and we don't have time to wait. This opportunity to learn more about what happened to Olran won't last much longer. We need to find that squad of soldiers. Fine. You wait for Naryu. I'm going to go and find those soldiers. Their orders were to scout the old stronghold. I suggest we search along the outskirts and see if we can pick up their trail. We need...
I was really looking forward to becoming a god.
A Redoran officer's sword. No Redoran soldier would leave that behind willingly.
I say we go out and slaughter every Ashlander tribe in Vardenfell.
I knew him. But the others, they're civilians. They must have taken Tellar's soldiers inside.
I need aid!
Let's find the soldiers and get out of here before these stupid cultists realize what's happening.
Who's there? We won't let you take us without a fight. Wait, Bea, is that you?
Thank the three! You're all still alive.
I'm not sure what you and Vea are doing here, but let us out. Then we can return Vea to her father. Councillor Eris has been terribly worried. This isn't the time or the place to have that discussion. Get the key to this cage and then we can find a private place to talk. One of the cultists carries the key. I don't think he's too far away. We hear him patrolling around every so often.
You find the key. Me and Vatala. We're going to have a little chat while we're waiting.
Vea, I'm just trying to protect you.
From what?
Another sacrifice for the Prince of Bargains.
Vea, wait! You can't leave us like this!
Hey, what's up, man?
I knew I shouldn't have told Vea the truth. I just made everything worse. Please let us out of here. We have to stop Vea before she does something she'll regret. I told her what she wanted to hear. I was with Captain Ulran the day everything happened. I was commanded to lure the Ashlanders to town and set up a situation for Ulran to deal with. My orders were to invite the Ashlanders to Balmora to trade, send some local toughs to instigate a commotion, and then get Ulran to investigate. It was just supposed to be a loyalty test. Who expected Ulran to kill his own soldier to save a savage? Captain Briven, though he was still a lieutenant at the time, as soon as I explained all this to Vea, her face turned dark and she stormed out of here. I think she's going to Balmora to kill him. You need to let me out so I can warn the captain. How dare you! When House Redoran hears about this, you're going to regret your actions.
Get your ass over here, hero. We've got a situation and it's not good. I leave you and Vea alone for a couple of hours, and everything goes to oblivion in an ore cart. Why did Vea leave the safe house? And why is House Redoran tearing the city apart to find her? You did what? I suppose you thought that was a good idea? Well, the damage is done. At least tell me you found some. That explains why Vea broke into the kin house. I'm not sure what happened in there, but she certainly stirred up the Redoran soldiers. Vea might still... If Vea kills Brivin without a writ, the Morag Tong and House Redoran will both want her head on a silver platter. You check the kin house. I'll grab Ashur and see if we can pick up Vea's trail in the street.
What is with all the Redoran soldiers? Did something happen?
I wonder if it has something to do with the Councillor's daughter.
Scour the streets, search the buildings. Vea Releth does not leave this city.
Oh, pitiful me.
What's the meaning of this? Where are the soldiers? If you're looking for my husband, I'll tell you the same thing that I told that brazen young woman. The council is meeting outside Balmora, and Brivin is protecting... I could barely make sense of the nonsense she was spouting. It was Vea, Councillor Eris's daughter. Everything she said was a ramble. Something about my husband betraying her brother, that my Brivin had to suffer just as she was suffering. She had a knife, but no, she didn't harm me. She said her brother wouldn't hurt an innocent, that I wasn't responsible for his death. Do you have any idea what she was talking about? Because I certainly don't. You shouldn't get involved. That young woman will hasten her own death if she thinks she can get past my husband and his soldiers. But if you insist... The dead soldiers? They were just protecting the kin house. Oh. I'll go and stay with my sister in Vivek. I'm sure of it.
Please tell me you found Vea. I can already feel the cold steel of the executioner's blade on the back of my neck. Is Vea trying to get herself killed? You can't just barge into a Redoran garrison and ask the soldiers to stand aside while you murder them. She murdered soldiers without a writ. This is a dark path she's decided to follow. And unless we play this just right, it's...
Guard every exit. If Vea tries to get into or out of the city, we'll find her.
I don't like the looks of this. Maybe nothing? I don't like the looks of this. Maybe nothing? Maybe everything. We know Ulron refused to employ mercenaries. He hated Count. The war clause may be a blessing in disguise. I can explain killing these bastards a lot easier than trying to wipe Redwyn blood off my hand. There's no stealthy way to approach this. The front door's our only option. Then we track down Driven.
I always forgive my enemies. Remember her name.
Glad to see we all made it. Now let's find Brivin before Vea skewers him. Nothing yet, eh? I hear voices, but I haven't so much as heard. It's always important, and I'll figure out.
Khajiit's family died when they played the Red Rosé Child.
This one wonders if the meat of shapeskins is tasty.
Captain Brivin is on his way. Soon we'll have a permanent job in House Redderin, yes?
I try not to be superstitious. That brings bad luck.
Kill the intruders! They have interfered for the last time!
What's going on down here? It sounds like a... You! What are you doing here? Explain yourself! What in the name of the three are you up to? I thought you worked for Counselor Eris. You better have a damn good reason for killing the mercenary leader. I ought to... Vea? She's barely out from under her mother's apron and she presumes to judge my actions? No matter. Whatever you... now everything becomes clear. Vea learned something of her brother's fate and wants to retaliate. Then let her... You're looking for the responsible party. Then look no further than Counselor Eris. He wanted to prove his son's loyalty to the House. To show that Oren's fascination with the savage Ashlanders hadn't corrupted him. Well, a test Oren failed. Eris was devastated when his son sided with the savages, and his daughter ran away. He decided to resign his position. He'll make the announcement today.
That's for Oren. Choke on your own blood, you bastard.
Vea killed Briven. Without a writ. It was pure, focused rage. I never expected her to go through with it. If Vea doesn't get herself killed up there, the Morag Tong will hunt her down and execute her, like a rabid gua. I'm not sure they deserve to be saved, but that's what we have to do. Vea can't be allowed to kill the counselors. The Morag Tong only recently began to find acceptance again. Vea's action, we have to get ahead of her.
Khajiit's family died when the plague spread through...
Nothing's more important than reaching the council meeting. If the mercenaries get in our way, cut them down.
There's no need to panic.
Need to panic? She's cut down every mercenary in her way.
No more time to
talk. Father won't be able to stop her.
Vea's getting close. We're running out of time. Let me try to open this door.
Vea, daughter. I'm so sorry. I never meant for any of this to happen.
Come on, stubborn, stupid look.
Father, why? Does the house really matter more than your own son?
I needed to protect Ulron. To prove his loyalty. If I could do it all over again.
But you can't! None of us can! That's
They
why I
are
have
no.
to do this!
That's an order!
I'm not your apprentice anymore. The house has grown corrupt, evil. That's why all the councillors have to die. No more rules! No more secrets! House Redoran falls today.
Enough, Vea! This isn't the way!
Would have listened. Outlander, the Morag Tong agent. She cares deeply for Vea, doesn't she? It takes great courage to go against your heart and do what you know is best. You both did that by protecting the Council. For that, a series of regrettable decisions led to this family tragedy, and most of them were made by Eris Relith. I knew of Ulron's compassion concerning the Ashlanders. It was unorthodox, but not worthy of the punishment meted out. Eris convinced Brivin to test Ulron. Then the two of them decided to slaughter the Ashlanders. Oh, the Council allowed itself to be convinced that exile was an appropriate punishment, but we were wrong to let it go as far as it did. I didn't say that, but we're not butchers. We do not hire mercenary thugs to wipe out an entire people. This gathering was to deal with that. Eris planned to step down, and we were going... House Redoran behaved poorly. Morag Tong rules were violated. I suggest we make sure these details never see the light of day. Leave the bodies where they are. We will say that Vea died protecting her father and the Council from the War Claws. Cooperate with House Redoran and hold your tongues. It's as simple as that. I shall return to the Council meeting and conclude our business.
I'm not sure about this. It's a generous offer, but those are some big secrets to sweep under a rug. Besides, the High Counselor thinks we killed her. The deal hinges upon all of us forgetting this sorry mess ever happened. Besides, once Vea regains her senses, there's every likelihood that she'll try... When have I ever been able to convince Vea to do anything she didn't want to do? There's Redoran blood on Vea's hands. Once the Morag Tong ties those unauthorized murders to her, I don't see many options. We can either finish off Vea now, and go along with the High Counselor's deception, or we slip out of here with Vea and send her far, far away. She broke her vows and deserves to die. I know that, but it still feels wrong. You're right. If anyone's to blame for all this, it's me. Go on. I'll get her out of here before the council notices and meet you in Balmora.